You might have heard whispers, quiet ones at first, the kind that float through late-night TikTok videos, Facebook groups, and those mysterious screenshots people keep sharing. Whispers saying that some ordinary-looking quarters, the ones you walk past every single day, might not be ordinary at all. Some people claim a few of these coins hide secrets, shocking mistakes from the mint, details almost nobody notices, and that 3 specific quarters could be worth life-changing money. Thousands, tens of thousands, and according to the wildest rumors, millions. But what's real? What's fake? And how do you know if the coin sitting in your drawer right now is the rare one? Today, we're talking about the 3 most talked about rare quarters online. Coins that millions of people own, but almost nobody has actually checked properly. Coins surrounded by rumors, myths, confusion, and insane claims about their value. And here's the twist: before we reveal the truth behind their supposed million-dollar worth, before we clear up what's real and what's exaggerated, we're going to break down their designs, their hidden details, their rare errors, and the clues you need to spot if you're holding something special. So make sure you watch till the end, because one of these 3 coins might just be sitting in your pocket right now, and its real value might shock you. Let's move on our first coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, quiet little rumors drifting through late-night coin videos, Facebook groups, TikTok clips, and those mysterious posts claiming someone found a simple state quarter that turned out to be worth more than a house. Some people say a certain quarter, one that looks completely ordinary, one that millions of people have touched, might secretly be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions. And the strange part? The stories always point to a coin just like this one, the New York State quarter. But what's real? What's fake? And is there actually a version of this coin that could make someone rich overnight? Stay with me till the end, because the truth behind these rumors is far more shocking, far more twisted, and far more interesting than you expect. Let's begin with the design itself. The New York State Quarter was released in 2001 as part of the 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history. Before this series, almost nobody cared about quarters. They were just small pieces of metal used to buy gum, open parking meters, or collect dust inside drawers. But the state quarters changed everything. Suddenly, millions of people were checking every coin they received. Everyone was looking for something rare. Everyone thought the next coin in their pocket might be special. And among all those designs, the New York quarter became one of the most iconic. Look closely at it. At the center stands the Statue of Liberty, one of the strongest symbols of freedom in the world. Her torch is raised high, casting light over the outline of New York State shown behind her. That outline isn't random. It's shaped exactly like the state's borders, a simple but meaningful reminder of geography and history. Stretching across the design is a single phrase, Gateway to Freedom. Those 3 words aren't just decorative. They pay tribute to Ellis Island, immigration, and the millions of people who stepped into America through New York, chasing dreams, hope, and new beginnings. Beneath everything is 1788, the year New York officially joined the Union. The coin looks simple, but its meaning runs deep. Every line, every mark, every symbol was chosen to represent centuries of American identity, diversity, and struggle. But now, let's talk about the part everyone wants to know, the value. Here's where things start to get interesting. The New York quarter had a massive mintage. Over 1 billion coins were produced in 2001. That means most examples are extremely common. If your coin has scratches, dull surfaces, or the usual wear from circulation, it's typically worth 25 cents. No surprise there. But that's where beginners stop. Experienced collectors know the real value hides in condition and in errors. If your New York quarter is uncirculated, meaning it still has its original mint shine and no signs of handling, the value jumps. MS 60 to MS 63, $1 to $5. MS 64 to MS 65, $10 to $35. But the real climb starts at the elite collector grades. MS 66, $40 to $100. MS 67, $120 to $200. MS 68, $400 to $700 or more. Coins in MS 68 are extremely rare. Only a handful exist because any tiny scratch, tiny contact mark, or tiny flaw drops the grade instantly. That level of perfection is extremely hard to find, even straight from mint rolls or bags. Then we get into error territory. This is where values can surprise new collectors. Off-center strikes, $40 to $200. Broad strikes, $30 to $100. Double die obverse or reverse, $50 to $300 plus. Clipped planchets, $20 to $150. Die cracks and cuds, $15 to $200 depending on size. Missing clad layer, $200 to $450. Some dramatic errors, like huge off-centers or strong double dies, can even push beyond $500. Not millions, but definitely impressive for a 25-cent piece. And now, let's address the giant rumor floating online. The $1 million New York quarter. You've probably heard it. Maybe you saw one of those videos where someone claims they accidentally found a New York quarter with missing outlines or a doubled Statue of Liberty and that it's worth life-changing money. Maybe you saw screenshots of supposed sales online showing insane numbers. So is it true? Is there really a version of this coin that someone sold for $1 million? Let's break it down honestly, but dramatically. First, no verified auction has ever recorded a New York quarter selling for $1 million. Not a single one. Not PCGS. Not NGC. Not Heritage Auctions. Not Stack's Bowers. Nothing. The rumor started because a few collectors posted photos of extremely dramatic errors, some real, some poorly photoshopped, and people misunderstood their rarity. Others simply exaggerated values for views. Before long, people were sharing wild claims that a rare New York quarter broke auction records. But here's the truth. Even the rarest, most dramatic, most perfect New York quarter cannot reach $1 million. Not with today's market. Not with known errors. Not with known conditions. Not with the amount minted. However, this is where the twist comes in. There are a few very specific types of errors that could reach $5,000 to $15,000 if the right example ever appears. These would include a major double die like the 1955 Lincoln cent, a massive 75% plus off-center strike with full date, a mule error, wrong obverse paired with wrong reverse, a powerful strike-through error covering most of the design. Such coins are insanely rare. Mule errors especially are almost never released to the public. But in theory, if a New York quarter mule ever surfaced, the price would explode. Still not $1 million, but definitely a dream find. So here's the final truth behind the $1 million myth. The New York quarter is special, but the $1 million rumor is just a rumor. The real value lies in condition, rarity, and actual mint errors, not viral videos. But that doesn't make it boring. Because even though it's not worth millions, it can still be worth hundreds, sometimes more. And if you know what to look for, your next pocket change find could still be a treasure. Let's move on our second coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers that start in the quiet corners of coin collecting groups, in late-night YouTube shorts, and in those dramatic TikTok videos that claim a simple modern quarter, one released only a few years ago, could secretly be worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions. And the rumors always circle around one coin. A coin showing a man on a horse, overlooking rugged cliffs and wide, open land. They say there's a hidden version of this coin that the mint doesn't talk about. They say there's a rare mistake that could make someone rich overnight. But what's truth? What's myth? And could this coin really be hiding value no one expects? Stay with me till the end, because the story behind this coin is one you don't want to miss. Let's reveal the coin at the center of all this attention, the 2016 Theodore Roosevelt National Park Quarter. This coin belongs to the America the Beautiful Quarter series, one of the most detailed, beautiful, and artistically complex collections the U.S. Mint has ever created. Released between 2010 and 2021, the series honored 56 national parks, forests, and landmarks across the United States. And among them, the Theodore Roosevelt Quarter stands out. Not just because of the design, though the design is stunning, but because of the symbolism behind it. On the reverse, you see President Theodore Roosevelt riding his horse through the rugged Badlands of North Dakota. His figure is small compared to the dramatic landscape surrounding him, the cliffs, the winding Little Missouri River, and the open wilderness stretching into the horizon. This exact place changed Roosevelt's life. After personal tragedy, He came here to heal, to rebuild, and to rediscover his purpose. And it was here that he fell in love with nature, leading him to become one of America's strongest conservation presidents, protecting millions of acres of forests, national parks, and wildlife. Every curve of this design tells a part of that story. The coin isn't just metal. It's a tribute to a man who shaped U.S. environmental history. But now, let's talk about the part that gets collectors excited. The value. Unlike the older state quarters, the America the Beautiful quarters had much lower mintages. The Theodore Roosevelt quarter was made in 2016 at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and while millions were produced, the numbers are still significantly lower than the huge state quarter program. For the average circulated coin, the kind found in pocket change, the value is usually 25 cents. But the game changes when you start looking at condition. If your coin looks shiny, untouched, or uncirculated, here's what you might expect. MS 63 to MS 65, $1 to $5. MS 66, $10 to $25. MS 67, $40 to $80. MS 68, $150 to $350. MS 69, $700 plus and extremely rare. Coins in MS 69, near perfect with almost microscopic flaws, are the gems collectors chase. Only a handful exist, and they sell for hundreds of dollars even though the coin is only 9 years old. But now we get into the real thrill. Mint errors. This is where modern coins sometimes surprise the market. Possible errors for the Theodore Roosevelt quarter include a major off-center strikes, $50 to $250. A broad strikes, $30 to $100. A clipped planchets, $25 to $120. A double die obverse or reverse, rare, $50 to $400. A missing clad layer, $200 to $500. A strike-through grease or debris, $20 to $150. A die cracks or retained cuds, $15 to $200 depending on size. One of the most interesting errors for ATB quarters is the missing clad layer, a dramatic mistake where the nickel outer layer is missing, revealing the copper core underneath. This creates a two-tone look that's instantly recognizable and highly collectible. Now, let's finally talk about the rumor that refuses to die. The $1 million Theodore Roosevelt quarter. You've probably seen the videos. Someone claims there's a rare 2016 quarter with a double-struck Roosevelt, a missing horse figure, or a mountain that looks shifted, a mule with the wrong reverse, or a secret misprint worth more than a luxury car. Some videos even show supposed auction screenshots with insane numbers attached to this coin. So is there truth to any of these claims? Can a 2016 quarter reach $1 million? Here's the honest truth. No Theodore Roosevelt ATB quarter has ever sold for anywhere near $1 million. There is no authentic auction record, no PCGS or NGC graded example, and no documented mint catastrophe that would justify such a value. The rumors started because modern coins can have dramatic errors, sometimes extremely dramatic, and collectors began imagining, what if? Some people posted edited images or misidentified other coins as rare ATB errors. And from there, the myth grew and grew. But even though the $1 million story is false, that doesn't mean this coin is worthless. In reality, a perfect high-grade example can bring hundreds. A dramatic mint error can bring hundreds or even thousands. A missing clad layer or strong double die can shock collectors in today's market. And because these coins were minted recently, new errors could still be discovered. That's the beautiful thing. You could find a valuable example in everyday change. A lucky find. A forgotten roll. A coin jar that hasn't been touched in years. Not millions, but enough to make your day, your week, maybe even your month. So the truth behind the rumors is simple. The Theodore Roosevelt quarter isn't hiding $1 million secret, but it is a coin worth checking carefully, because the right version can absolutely surprise you. Let's move on our third coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, the kind that travel slowly but mysteriously through coin groups, TikTok videos, and late-night collectors' forums. Whispers saying that one of the earliest state quarters, one that looks completely normal, completely ordinary, might secretly be worth life-changing money. People claim there's a rare version of this coin that slipped out of the mint by mistake, a version that only a few people supposedly know about, a version that could be worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions. But what's real? What's myth? And which parts of the rumor are hiding a much bigger story? Stay with me till the end, because before we reveal the truth, we're going deep into its design, history, hidden variations, and real values. You don't want to miss this one. So let's talk about the coin at the center of these rumors. The 1999 Georgia State Quarter. This was one of the earliest releases in the 50-state quarters program, the coin program that completely changed American coin collecting forever. When the state quarters were launched in 1999, people everywhere suddenly became coin hunters. Kids, adults, parents, grandparents, everyone wanted to collect all 50. And because Georgia was one of the first coins released, millions of people kept it, saved it, or put it aside thinking it might be valuable someday. Now let's look at the design, because this is where the Georgia quarter truly shines. Right at the center, you see a peach, the official state fruit and the symbol of Georgia itself. Surrounding the peach is a wreath of live oak sprigs, representing strength, endurance, and the lush forests found across the state. Stretching across the design is a banner carrying Georgia's state motto: wisdom, justice, moderation. 3 powerful words chosen by the state's founders to reflect balance and moral guidance. And behind all of this sits the outline map of the state, sharp, clean, symbolic. Beneath the design is the year 1788, the year Georgia officially joined the Union. And of course, the release year, 1999, marks the beginning of one of the biggest coin collecting eras in U.S. history. It's a beautiful design. Simple, yet rich in meaning. But now it's time for the exciting part. The value. The Georgia quarter was released in huge numbers. Over 900 million coins were struck between Philadelphia and Denver. Because of this, regular Georgia quarters found in pocket change are almost always worth 25 cents. But collectors don't stop there. They go deeper. If your Georgia quarter is uncirculated, meaning it still has its original mint shine, sharp details, and no signs of wear, the value begins to climb. MS 60 to MS 63, $1 to $4. MS 64 to MS 65, $5 to $15. MS 66, $20 to $40. MS 67, $75 to $150. MS 68, $350 to $800. Now we're talking real money. MS 68 is extremely difficult to find. Even coins straight out of sealed mint bags often don't grade that high because of tiny scratches, contact marks, or imperfections. But this coin becomes even more interesting when you add errors into the mix. The Georgia State Quarter has a long list of collectible errors, and some of them can be surprisingly valuable. Off-center strikes, $40 to $200. Broad strikes, $30 to $120. Clipped planchets, $25 to $100. Double die errors, $50 to $300 depending on strength. Die cracks and cuds, $15 to $250 for large breaks. Missing clad layer, $200 to $600. Struck on the wrong planchet, rare, $300 to $1,000 plus. Experimental planchet errors, extremely rare, $1,000 to $5,000 plus if documented. The Georgia quarter is one of the coins with known cases of missing clad layers, dramatic, eye-catching errors that are immediately noticeable. Collectors love these. And now, we reach the part everyone talks about. The $1 million Georgia quarter. You've probably watched videos claiming that a 1999 Georgia quarter with a strange outline, or a shifted peach, or a missing wreath segment is worth a fortune. Some claim that there's a mule error, where the Georgia reverse was accidentally paired with the wrong obverse. Others claim that there's a rare unconfirmed prototype version that could be worth millions. So what's the truth? Let's break it down honestly. There is no documented, graded, or verified Georgia quarter worth $1 million. Not one. Not in PCGS archives. Not in NGC records. Not in heritage auctions. Not at any major auction house. The rumor got started because Georgia was part of the first year of the state quarters. Early issues often have more experimental strikes, more quality control issues, and more mistakes than later ones. People took normal mint variations, like slightly weak strikes, tiny die imperfections, or rotation differences, and exaggerated them into million-dollar myths. But here's the twist. While there is no million-dollar version, the Georgia quarter does have something special. It has the potential for extremely valuable errors, some already discovered, some possibly still hidden. A dramatic wrong planchet strike. A full double denomination error. A mule pairing. A perfect MS 68 plus example. These could easily reach $1,000 to $10,000 or more. Not millions, but still extraordinary for a coin worth only 25 cents. So the real truth behind the rumor is this. The Georgia quarter isn't worth millions, but it is a coin worth checking carefully. It can be valuable. It can surprise collectors. And with the right error or the right grade, it can still be a truly rare find in modern U.S. coinage.